I was an intern at a law firm after I graduated college. The law firm was awesome. My coworkers and bosses were all cool as fuck. Well, almost all of them. Sadly, being an intern, I was left with the bulk of the grunt work, which meant I had to spend a few nights a week staying late at the office. It was kind of peaceful, so I didn't mind it too much. But what I did mind was the janitor. He would come in every night at around 8:30 to clean, and he would leave at around 9. He was an odd man. He was of Latino descent, short in stature, and incredibly frail. He would watch me as he cleaned. He tried to play it off as best as he could, but he was terrible at it. And it made working incredibly hard and distracting, which is where my frustration would stem from. After a week or two of his creepy janitorial encounters, I guess he built up enough courage to strike a conversation. "Hey girl," he said in a timid voice. Oh, I'm sorry, am I in your way? I'll move." I started to collect my things when he said, "No, you are fine, senorita. Very fine." The janitor then began to raise his eyebrows up and down. "No pun intended," he said, "but I'd like to sweep you off your feet. I have reservations for 2 at Applebee's tomorrow, and I was wondering if you'd accompany me." "You're so sweet," I said, "but sadly I'm a lesbian." Side note, I'm not a lesbian. However, I lied because I wanted to deter any possible future encounters of this nature. "Low-key, I'm salt as fuck," he said. "But honestly, that's hot." I guess so," I replied. "But yeah, I'm sorry." No, you're fine, senorita. I apologize for interrupting you." Before I had a chance to say goodbye, my phone began to ring. It was my boyfriend Connor, who, in my phone, is saved as my love. And not only that, but his contact photo is a picture of me and him on a date at Red Lobster. I quickly ignored the call, and I went to look back up at the janitor, hoping he didn't notice, but he did. "Wait a minute. If you're a lesbian, why do you have a boyfriend? And is that Red Lobster you're eating at?" Caught off guard by the pressing questions, I decided to come clean. Okay. I lied. It's just, to be honest, you're creepy, and I didn't want you to think you'd ever possibly have a chance. So with all that being said, I regrettably lied about being a lesbian. The janitor started to pace back and forth as he tried to comprehend what I just told him. He did this for 30 or 40 seconds before he regained his composure. "Look, I'm sorry," he said while fighting back tears. He cleared his throat and told me to enjoy the rest of my night. He then ran out of the office crying. The next few nights after that were really awkward. The janitor would stare at me in anger. Even when I made eye contact with him, he continued to stare. This continued on for about a week or so, until he asked me if we could have a conversation. He explained he was only mad because he hasn't been laid for months and he was really looking forward to waxing my ass. Whatever that means. He then offered to make amends and handed me a bologna sandwich. "Thanks," I said. "Well, aren't you going to eat it?" he replied. I told him I had a lot of work to do, but come lunchtime I'll be digging right in. He smiled and waved goodbye. He then repositioned himself across the room and started to clean. About 45 minutes had passed and I noticed the janitor was again staring at me. But this time he was trying to hide it. Every time I would look at him, he would look away and start whistling. And this went on for a few hours till I finally snapped. "Yo, S.A., what the fuck do you want?" He looked shocked and then embarrassed. And he said he really just wanted to see if I liked the sandwich he made. "Ugh," I said internally. "Alright, fine. I'll try the damn sandwich. Then please, will you let me work?" He agreed, and then I pulled out the moist bologna sandwich and took a bite. It only took a few seconds after chewing to realize this wasn't a bologna sandwich at all. I spit the foul-tasting substance onto the floor, then immediately was greeted by a sinister smirk across the room. "What's the matter, senorita? Not a fan of the special ingredient? What the hell did I just eat?" The janitor laughed aloud while pulling out a notepad. "Let's see here. Of course, there was bread, and bologna, a little bit of mayo, and lastly a freshly hot turd with a dash of paprika." I was mortified and disgusted. What the fuck, man? He continued to laugh and told me to fuck off. And that's when rage consumed my very essence. The last thing I remember was asking what was on the sandwich. I then awoke to find the janitor beaten to within an inch of his life and crying. My hands looked battered and bloodied. What have I done, I thought. I tried to help the janitor to his feet, but he pushed me away and ran towards the door. I came in the next day expecting to be fired, if not detained by the police. However, that morning I found out the janitor had quit. When I asked around why, the general consensus was personal reasons. I ended my internship and ended up getting hired on, and I never came across that janitor again. So, janitor, let's not meet again. But if we do, you better clean up your act.